Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Newscast, where I go over the top news of the last week in retro handhelds, retro gaming, and just gaming in general. This is going to be the shortest newscast that we've ever done, so let's just jump right in and get right into the news. First up, OnionOS version 4.3.1 is now out and available for download. As well, they released a fix shortly afterwards, and it's -1 afterwards. So make sure that you're on 4.3.1-1 because that is the most latest update. Not going to go over all of the changes here. You can find them all on the GitHub. There seems to be quite a few features and bug fixes and all of that, and I didn't really see anything that was crazy or anything that needed to be highlighted, but it's just an update. So go ahead and do it over the air update if you have a Miu Mini Plus, or you're going to have to flash it if you have a Miu Mini. muOS just released their big refried beans update, and it added support for the RG40XX SP for lid closing, and then others for HDMI, as well as a lot more. There's a big changelog, and so much so that they didn't even list them all because there's so many different changes. I should tell you right off the bat that HDMI is apparently a little bit bugged, so maybe skip the HDMI part. And this still does not have Bluetooth, so if you've been waiting for Bluetooth, it's not here yet. So I've been using muOS early access for a while now, and then obviously the retail release that everybody got. And I have to say it is the best custom firmware for all of these devices, but especially the SP. The addition for lid closing, for being able to set a sleep timer and then shutting down is fantastic. And as well, it gives you a little wait for network scenario when you boot up. So if you're doing retro achievements and you've hated that it boots into a game before it signs into retro achievements and Wi-Fi and all of that, it adds a little network wait. So it'll wait for it to do so and then boot the game up. And that is fantastic. But on top of that, there's a whole bunch of different themes. There's a Minish Cap theme, there's a Pokemon theme, there's a MIUI theme, and there's a whole bunch more. So I would suggest checking it out if you haven't settled on a custom firmware for the SP yet. GammaOS is coming to the RG Cube and the RG556. Gamma just released a bootloader unlock for both the 556 and the Cube, and included a fix for the sticks. And for those that don't remember, there's a massive issue with the 556 sticks as well as the Cube, and it snaps to the 4 cardinal directions. This fixes that. But you're going to need to wipe your entire Android and start from scratch because you kind of have to do a whole factory reset to apply these patches. So in that case, I would suggest maybe waiting for the full GammaOS release, which will have this fix. Might take a few weeks, so it's not something that you should be rushing out to get, but it's a lot better than flashing this and then flashing Gamma after. So maybe just wait. I think the big news here is that Gamma is coming, and Gamma fixed something that Anbernic could have fixed probably really quickly, but chose not to. So thankfully for the community, we have somebody who fixes these devices for us. I feel like I'm saying this weekly, but Emulation Station for Android is now on the Huawei App Gallery. Is that how you say it? Huawei? Huawei? I think you know what I mean. But either way, it is on that app gallery, which I'm assuming is some sort of store, and you can buy it there for those people that have that. So all 5 of you can now go on the app gallery and get Emulation Station for Android. Jumping into device news now, and the Anbernic RG40XX was shown in a video. Just some random person, and could be from Anbernic, but I don't know. And they were at a tea shop, and it looks like they spilled tea over everything, but it gave us a look at the 40XXH, which, as the name implies, is literally just a 35XXH, but with a bigger screen and slightly rounded corners. The bigger look makes it look like a TrimUI Smart Pro that's been shrunk down and you put a 4x3 screen on it, which that's pretty good. Not going to hate it, but there's so many devices like that. But then Anbernic released an actual YouTube video showing off it playing games as well as the functions and what it has and all of that. So let's go over those specs now. And it is basically a 4-inch screen, 640 by 480 IPS, same as all the others. It has the same H700 processor that's in the 35XX line of devices, so same performance there. The sticks look to be the same ones as the one from the RG Cube and 556, but since this is a Linux device, that means that it won't have that fix from GammaOS, unless Anbernic fixed it, in which case that'd be great, but somehow I think they didn't. There's Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and there's HDMI support, and that's kind of it. Now, if we look at some prices, the 35XX is $68 right now. And this is a bigger screen than that and slightly different with RGB LEDs and all that sort of thing. So maybe this will be 75 to $80 if I had to guess. And I guess we'll see in a few weeks, because once we get these kind of videos, it usually releases in a few weeks, so we should know soon. I will say that personally, this just keeps showing how good of a value the Retroid Pocket 2S is, because for a few bucks more, you get that, and that blows this out of the water completely in every way except for a 3.5-inch screen, which if you're buying this, I'm guessing you really didn't like that 35XXH's 3.5-inch screen, and you want a 4-inch screen. So that's kind of the reason I could see that you'd want one. But I want you to let me know in the comments. Are you interested in this 40XXH? If you're not interested, why? And if you are, why? I'm curious. I want to know what everybody's thoughts are on this one. If my videos have been helping you, consider supporting me on Patreon, or just give this video a like and a sub. You can also come join us on the Discord to talk about all these retro handhelds. Last news of the day, and I told you it was going to be a quick one, but there was a report that came out that said Steam users have spent 19 billion on games that they've never played before. This one comes from longtime commenter and follower Matt Davis, so thank you, Matt. They calculated this, and they came up with the number 19 billion. And that is a lot of money to spend on games that people have never played, and I can easily see how that happens. You can look at different bundles that get sold, and there's games that you don't want to play, but you want to play the other ones. Or you could look at all the games that you buy on Steam and then just never play for whatever reason. I mean, I've done it a lot of different times. I see a game that I want, I'm like, I want to buy that and play that. And then I just never get the time, and then there's another sale and more games come out, and it's a vicious cycle. So are you one of those people that do this? And I'm curious if you can remember a game that you did it with. Look, I don't do Newscast to be personally attacked, and I don't like this story, but it is an eye-opener one, because you never think about it. You buy some games and it's a few bucks sometimes or whatever it is, and you don't realize how much money adds up over time to games that you just didn't play and you spent a lot of money on. To me, I think I'm always like, I'm going to play you, and then the Steam Summer Sale is out like it is yesterday, and suddenly I'm looking at other games to purchase and never play again. By the way, did I miss a topic that you want to hear discussed? Top comment with the words Newscast topic will be featured on next week's show. That's all from me, Toronto.